Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Muhammad Faruriza bin Muhammad Tahir. My metric number is 268862.
And I am Sajaratun Nur binti Saiful Bahrain. My metric number is 268641.
Saja, you know what? I can't wait to share with our friend about our team assignment today. How about you?
Me too. I really excited to talk about Malay culture or heritage in Malay archipelago.
Alright, may I start first?
After you resign,
Ladies and gentlemen, without wasting our time, let me explain to you about Malay world. Malay world is collective areas which is the origin of the Malays. Those areas include Brunei, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, and southern Thailand. Brunei and Malaysia is two of the modern Malay nation state.
Rizal, can we say that Malays are an Austronesian ethnic group?
Yes, Saja. Historically, Brunei, Kedah, Langkawi, Genghis State, Chitu, Nakhon Si Thammarat, Pahang, Malay Srivijaya is a kingdom founded by Malay population primarily from the earlier Malay-speaking Austronesian and Austroasiatic tribes.
And this kingdom also was an ancient maritime trading state. And I like to share that Genghis State is now known as Berwas at Manjung Perak, Chitu is Tanah Merah, Nakhon Si Thammarat in what is now southern Thailand, and Malay Srivijaya is Srivijaya.
Among in the many Malay subgroups in maritime Southeast Asia, there is considerable in genetic, linguistic, cultural, and social diversity, mainly due the hundreds of immigration and assimilation of various ethnic and tribal areas.
I remember there was a major revolution in the 15th century when Malacca Sultanate was advanced. During this era, the religion of Islam, the Malay language and tradition is common definitive markers of Malayness and resulting the ethnogenesis of the Malay as a major ethno-religious group in the religion.
In literature, architecture, culinary tradition, traditional dress, performing arts, martial arts, and the royal court tradition, Malacca set a standard that later Malay Sultanate emulated. Saja, have you ever heard or meet tribal communities such as Batak, Dayak, Orang Asli, and Orang Laut?
You want to share about them?
With pleasure. They are particularly from various tribal communities that become subject to Islamization and Malayization during the golden age of the Malay Sultanates.
Today, some Malays have recent forays from other parts of maritime Southeast Asia, termed as anak dagang. Anak dagang of traders predominantly consists of Banjar, Bugis, Minangkabau people and Aceh people.
Throughout their history, the Malays have been known as a coastal trading community with fluid cultural characteristics. They absorbed, shared, and transmitted numerous cultural features of other local ethnic groups such as Minang, Acehnese, and some of Javanese culture. Every nation has their own literature, as well as ethnic Malay. The earliest form of Malay literature was the oral literature, and its central subjects are traditional folklore relating to nature, animals, and people.
The classical Malay folklore is composed of traditional song and music, heroic poem, animal fables, ghost stories, past events, fairy tales, symbolic roles, mice, and Barbie's tales.
Each of the stories posts its own energy in terms of character, spirit, backdrop, and storytelling, and was largely crafted with the intent of happiness, guidance, educating, remisking, explaining, among few.
Hikayat Malim Dewa, Hikayat Malim Deman, and Hikayat Raja Donan was the tales that has been written down by Pelipulara or storytellers. Some of the flora were memorized and passes from one generation of storytellers to the next.
Pantun, syair, and gurindam is the form of poetry in Malay literature. It contains a great number of portraits of the people, from the servant to the minister, from the judge to the rajas, from the ancient to the very contemporary periods, which together form the infamous identity of the Malays.
The early Malay communities were largely animist, the believing in the existence of semangat in everything.
Around the opening of the Common Era, South Asia traders trade to the Malay archipelago and they introduced Hinduism and Buddhism and they flourished until the 13th century.
In the 15th century, Islam of the Orthodox Sunni Church flourished in the Malay world under the Malacca Sultanate. Islam was brought by Arab South Asian and Chinese Muslim traders.
Islam can be said to have been fully integrated in the daily life of the populations. Since this era, the Malays has traditionally had a close identification with Islam and they have not changed their religion since. This identity is so strong that is said to become Muslim was to masuk Melayu.
Traditional Malay architecture has been influenced by Bugis and Java from the south, Siamese, British, Arab and Indian from the north, Portuguese, Dutch, Aceh and Minangkabau from the west and southern Chinese from the east.
The traditional Malay houses are built using simple timber frame structure. They have pitched roof, porch in the front, high ceiling, many opening on the wall for ventilation, and are often embellished with elaborate wood carving. The beauty and quality of Malay wood carving were meant to serve as visual indicators of the social rank and status of the owner themselves.
The great wooden istana of Mansur Shah of Malacca had a raised 7 by structure on wooden pillars with a 7-tree roof in copper shingles and decorated with gilded spires and Chinese glass mirror. Various culture influence, notably Chinese, Indian and Europeans, play a major role in forming Malay architecture.
Until recent time, wood was the principal material used for all Malay traditional building. However, numerous stone structures were also discovered, particularly the religious complex from the time of Sriwijaya and ancient Eastern Malay kingdom. A typical Malay traditional houses or mosque would have been adorned with more than 20 carved components. The carving on the walls and the panels allow the air breeze to circulate effectively in the out of the building and can let the sunlight to light the interior of the structure. At the same time, the shadow cast by the panels would also create a shadow based on the motif adding the beauty on the floor. Thus, the carved components perform in both functional and artistic purpose. Wood carving is a part of the classical Malay visual art. The Malays had traditionally adorned their monuments, both weapons, tombs, musical instruments, and utensils by motifs of floral, calligraphy, geometry, and cosmic feature. The art is done by partially removing the wood using the sharp tool and following specific patterns, composition, and order. The art form, known as ukir, is hailed as an act of devotion of the craftsman to the creator and a gift to his fellow man. Under the Malay culture, pottery is not solely written as a mere household utensil. It is perceived as a work of art, a product of talent embroidered with artistic legacy, perseverance, and religious devotion. The Malay urn is usually unglazed, with the ornamental design were carved when the pottery is semi-dry during its construction process.
Different Malay regions are all known for their unique or signature dishes. Patani, Kelantan and Terengganu famous with their nasi dagang, nasi kerabu and keropok lekor. Jambi, Pahang and Perak form their durian-based cuisine, especially gulai tempoyak. South Sumatra, Kedah and Penang for their northern style asam pedas and rojak. Perlis and Satun for their bunga kuda dessert, Negeri Sembilan for its nasi lemak based dishes, West Sumatra, Riau, Melaka and Johor for the spesi asam pedas, Riau and Pahang for the ikan patin, Melayu Delhi of Medan, North Sumatra for their nasi goreng Ferry Medan, Jambi for its panggang ikan mas, Sarawak and Sambas for the bubur pedas and laksa, Brunei for the katok and its unique and boyat dish.
The main characteristic in traditional Malay cuisine is spices. The coconut milk is also important in giving the Malay dishes their rich, creamy character. The other foundation is belacan, or shrimp paste, which is used as a base for sambal. Its rich sauce or condiment made from belacan, chilies, onion, and garlic. Malay cooking also makes plentiful use of lemongrass and gladigal. Nobat music became part of the royal regalia of Malay courts since the arrival of Islam in the 12th century and only performed in important court ceremonies. Its orchestra includes the sacred and highly revered instrument of Nehara, gendang, nafiri, serunai, and sometimes a knob, gong, and a pair of cymbals.
In contrast to baju Melayu, which continue to be worn as a ceremonial dress only, baju kurung is worn daily throughout the years by a majority of Malay women. Sighting of female civil servants, professional workers and students wearing baju kurung is common in Malay and Brunei. Throughout the age, the Malay baju kurung went into several recrimination before assuming its current form due the vastness of various Malay kingdom in the archipelago. Local and distinct from the baju kurung design pattern can also be witnessed in the region including Bengkulu, Kedah, Jambi, Johor, Riau, Pahang and Palembang. The traditional Malay apparels and textiles have been continuously morphed since the time of antiquity. Uses of breastwear transcends a plethora of classical Malay social classes, being used by the members of nobility and common races alike. The popularity of breastwear is heavily contributed due to its durability, quality and affordability to all. Malay silverware, the work of silver are fairly known for its sophisticated and fine design. It is usually crafted in the form of repose, filigree, and neolith work. Among the common traditional Malay items usually made of silver includes pillar ends, belt buckles, mud corners, stoppers or for water vessels, curry state and tobacco boxes.
Apart from silat, tomoy is also practiced by Malays, mainly in the northern region of the Malay Peninsula. Silat and its variant can be found throughout the Malay world. The Malay Peninsula, including Singapore, the Riau Islands, Sumatra, and coastal areas of Borneo. The earliest forms of silat are believed to have been developed and used in the armed force of the ancient Malay kingdoms of Langkasuka and Sriwijaya. The Malays would classify the traditional weapon under seven different structures. First is tuju or Malay cannon, which is meriam, ekor lontong, lela, and rentaka. Second is bidik or gun, which is terako and istinggar. Third is setubo, refer to the Malay spear, which is tongkat panjang and lembing. Fourth is selengan, refer to Malay saber, which is pedang and sundang. Fifth is setangan, such as badik panjang and tekpi. Sixth is sepegang, such as keris and badik. And seven is segenggam, such as lawi ayam kerambit, kuku macan, and kapak binjai. Other items in the traditional Malay weaponry include sumpit and buso dan panah, which are dis- which are distinct from the seven class of armaments. Additionally, the Malays also would deploy zirah, a type of armor, and shield as defense mechanism during the armed conflict.
We have now come to the end of our presentation. In summary, we spoke about Malay world and culture such as language, literature, religion, art, architecture, and much more. And we hope that what we have presented today regarding Malay heritage can give benefit information to all of us. Thank you for your watching our video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.